want you to consider for a second, are you living by design or by default? Now, I was thinking about this after I had a conversation with a client the other day because she was telling me how much happier she feels within herself. Every day she's finding time to prioritize herself. Every day she's finding time to move her body. She's eating really well. She has heaps more energy and she feels like she can finally be present with her kids rather than stressing about a to-do list. Now, she feels like this as a result of creating a routine that actually makes her feel fulfilled. So she's living by design, not by default. Now, when I first have conversations with clients, it generally goes like this. So tell me about your routine or how your day goes. Well, I generally wake up and I snooze my alarm a couple of times and then I have to get out of bed because I have to get the kids ready. So I race out and I'm telling the kids to get out of bed and I'm feeling really rushed and really stressed. And then I race into the kitchen. I have to start getting the kids their breakfast. And then I start making the lunches and I'm in a bit of a panic because I'm running behind and I know I've got to get to work. And everyone's kind of disorganized and you can't really find anything and I'm trying to race out the door. And my mornings are total manic. I generally skip breakfast because I just haven't even had time to think about it. But I've downed the coffee. I go to work for the day. I haven't got any food prepared, so I'm really under the pump. I generally eat a toasty or have some noodles or I don't know. Sometimes I'll buy some food from the cafe, maybe. Whatever I can really get my hands on. And then in the afternoon, I'm pretty much starving. I feel like I've run on zero all day at work. And then as I'm coming home from work, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to cook for dinner? So I have to race to the shops and I have to do a drop in there, grab some food for the evening. No idea really what I'm going to cook and not feeling that inspired. Come home, I deal with the kids, do some cooking, clean up the kitchen, deal with the child's routines and their needs, get them bathed and fed and get them through their homework. And then as soon as they're in bed, I flop on the couch. And that's the first time in the day in which I've had time for myself to de-stress. So I lay on the couch for a while, might scroll on my phone, and then eventually I'll just fall asleep. I'm totally exhausted. I lump into bed, wake up the next day and I do it all again. Now, when I speak to these clients, I know they're living a life of default. Now, nothing about this routine or that lack of routine, which that individual spoke to me about and which I hear all the time, makes you feel inspired. Nothing like that makes you feel like you're growing as an individual. Nothing about that makes you want to get up the next day and repeat it again. Nothing about that makes you feel like you're living life to the fullest. Now, we only have a limited time on this planet. This week has already flown by. Our kids grow up so quickly. So why do we pretend that we have forever to work this out? That one day we'll wake up and we'll live a life by design and we don't take any action to change it. Now, when I talk about living a life on default, it's that many of the habits that we do and where they are placed in our routine or within our daily actions, it's just out of automation. It's just something that we did once upon a time and it's stuck there. Like making the lunches in the mornings or pressing the snooze button several times before you wake up or not having any time for yourself until you flop on the couch in the evenings and that's when you de-stress. A lot of the routines and the structures we're in are not consciously created. They're not things that we're trying to do to make us feel better about ourselves or to grow as individuals or to change our circumstances or to connect with our family. They're just things that evolved once upon a time and it's just something that's stuck. Now, often what I find with a lot of clients is often the location of habits and where they sit within the day is not something that actually makes that day run smoothly. So if you want to achieve more, if you want to live deliberately, if you want to actually feel fulfilled at the end of the day and like you're accomplishing stuff, then you have to live by design. You have to take a step back. You have to look at your routine and you start to think, what makes me feel happy? What are the small tasks I can do on a daily basis that make me feel good? What fills my cup? It's making sure you have time for yourself. It's working on personal development. It's de-stressing somewhere. It's connecting with your loved ones. It's feeling like every day has a purpose. No, it's not just the same rigmarole as it was yesterday. And once you know what those things are that make you feel your best, you can create a plan that works for the whole family. A routine that you can all stick to that makes everyone happier and everything runs smoothly. Because life doesn't have to be chaos. You shouldn't be dealing with lack of energy every day. That's actually not normal. You shouldn't feel constantly stressed out. You don't have to. With some strategies, you can turn that around. And upskilling women on how they can live a fulfilled, smooth existence is exactly what I do. So why don't you book a call and we can have a chat about what it is that you need help with, what are your biggest struggles, and let's work together to create something that makes you and your family feel amazing.